Hello, my name is Gaute Espeland. In my series Building HSTouch Graphics with PowerPoint, this is a video about a utility called Powerpoint2HSTouch. It's possible to produce 3D graphics with PowerPoint and save one slide as a PNG file and then import it into HSTouch Designer as a background. It would have been nice if we could copy elements from PowerPoint and paste it directly onto a screen in HSTouch Designer. This is not possible because HSTouch Designer can't read anything from the clipboard. It was then tempting to write a small utility that could take this graphic information off the clipboard, maintaining the graphic information, and store it onto the skins folders as a PNG file. The skins system is actually folders under the HSTouch directory with one folder for each skin. Each skin has a folder structure with all the graphic elements contained in the skin. All graphics that is not stored elsewhere is stored in the graphics folder. Buttons are stored in pairs with the naming convention -norm and -pressed for the normal and the pressed version of the button. And sliders is stored similarly with a -background and -button for the background and button respectively. It was then very logical to make this utility being able to save directly on with the correct naming convention, so that the buttons would turn up in the skins toolbox and could be placed directly onto the screen. I will now demonstrate this utility by producing one 3D button, one image with a status glow, and one 3D slider completely from PowerPoint and through the utility and into the HSTouch Designer. So let's get started. So let's exit the slideshow and start up the utility. This utility you can download for free from the HSTouch message board. It contains a preview area. This is the graphic root path from the HSTouch Designer defaults, and it points to the skins folders. These are the skins folders, and you can press here to go directly to the skins folders. So the first thing we should do is to go to the skins folders and make a new skin for this project. Let's call it demo file. This will now immediately turn up here and we can select it. HSTouch Designer does not read this information after it started, so we should do this before we start the HSTouch Designer. Here is now a demo file and it's empty. This is a background. We can select one of the backgrounds from one of our first demo projects. Like this one, just to have something in the background. So we can now start producing graphics in PowerPoint. We'll do a button, make it 3D by putting a bevel on it, make the bevel a little larger and wider, make it a bit more shiny, and we will have no line. Observe that the shininess is making a small white edge. If that's don't like that, we can do it with a little less shininess. We could also put a gradient fill on it to make it more nice. Let's make a copy up here and pick up this object style for later. We can now text this button directly, but we will not like to do that because then this text will not move when the button is pressed. So the text will put separately, like this. And by using this snap objects to other objects and display smart guides when shapes are aligned, we can now move this into correct position on top of the button. And now we can, then we can just copy this, and the tool would immediately take it off the clipboard, show that it has transparent borders, and we can now put this, execute one button as the normal version directly on to the correct position. We can now go and see that in demo file we have the graphic in the correct position. So now we go back here and put a new bevel that is inset like this, and then we will move the text, and I'm using the keyboard now, 2 arrows to the right and 2 arrows down, and we can then select everything again, copy, tool take it off clipboard, and this would be the pressed version, so we just press this and check. Yes, it's now arrived here, and with these two pairs we just go in and out of the buttons folder, and we can now see the button and we can take it on, and you see that the text is moving correctly when it's pressed. Now for the status graphic, let's find let's say a video projector, my bank, and let's search for a PNG if we're lucky. Yes, let's take this one. Oops. Let's take it from here, copy, place it onto PowerPoint, crop it, take out the correct picture, then go into color, set transparent color, and make this white transparent. So now we have an image that is suitable for showing the status on whether the video projector is turned on or not. At the on position, I would like it to glow like this. Put a glow on it, not green but yellow, and maybe a little wider like this. So this would be telling that the video projector is on. We can now copy this graphic, but we don't have control of the bounding size, and this size must be equal both in glowing and not glowing. So the trick we'll do now is place another control on top of it, and then say no fill and no outline. So this is the invisible one, but we can select them both, and the outer one will control the size of the graphics. We will have to optimize this, but for the demo we just use this. Forgot to copy. Then it will take it off the clipboard, and normally I will store this in the graphics folder and use it as status images, but now just for the demo I will put it on a button saying that this is the bank pressed version, and take off the glow, select both again, copy, and say as this is the normal version. So going back here, in and out of the buttons, we can take in the bank and see that it's glowing when we press it. That will normally be the status tracking, and you see that it's nice and transparent. So now for the slider. Of course you can do all kind of sliders in PowerPoint, but for this demo let's just make a simple one, a 3D one with a circular button, and a transparent groove to move it in, and maybe a status window on the top, something like this, to put the number of the value of the slider. So now we can subtract these two like this to make a hole, and make this button 3D like this. So now we can just select this, copy it, go back to the utility. This is just a preview, so that's why it's so stretched. So slide 1, This is the background. Back here, select this one, copy, here, button, and then sliders. Here it is. Copy it in. It's of course it's too big, but this is for the demo. And now we have to adjust this being vertical, and then adjust the end stop. Like the offset max would be around 90 maybe, and this one do something like 40 maybe. You'll have to experiment with that to get it correct. So let's run the client. So now we can test the slider, and it stops a little too late here and there, but okay, you can make the changes yourself. So if we'd like to put some graphic on this slider, that should be no problem. Just zoom in to get a little better control. We can put like a small loudspeaker onto it, something like this. We can now combine these two images, with the shape union, do a white fill and no outline, and place it onto the button like this, and we export it. The designer is now holding the graphics, so we can't replace it, but it's just as easy to build a new version and just re-export the background. So now we should have a new version here with a small loudspeaker on it. So that is what we set out to do. If you like more information and more details about this, check out my other videos on designing graphics for HSTouch using PowerPoint and small drawing tools on the HSTouch message board. Thank you.